Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 1988 Rover Mini. Up front is a 1-liter inline 4 and down below is a 4-speed manual transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this Rover Mini for many reasons, but the main fact is I've driven one before, actually specifically in 1988, but that was imported from Britain. This was imported from Japan, so there are some differences that come with it. But if you'll read the title, you might be curious of what I mean by this being a selfish review. Well, in all honesty, I don't need to review this car, but I loved the first one so much that I jumped at the opportunity to drive a second one. So this is 50% review, 50% Zach wants to have fun on a Thursday morning, and who can blame me? But if you would like to share your fun vehicle with me, you can head on over to my website, zackbradle.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form, takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. But let's get back to that 1-liter inline 4. Well, puts out 60, 70 horsepower, it's carbureted, it's a single barrel carburetor, and the technology, even for 1988 standards, was very, very dated. It wasn't a very new or interesting or efficient design. Speaking of efficiency, one of this engine's major downsides is the fact that it has a side-mounted radiator. So overheating problems can be somewhat common on these, driven in the environments they weren't intended for, so an electric fan is a good upgrade. Like I said, paired to a 4-speed manual, I am pleasantly enjoying it. Oh, and I think it's enjoying me too. This is just such a boatload of fun, and the transmission really helps out with that. Last but not least about the drivetrain, the Rover Mini is front-wheel drive. Growing up, I don't know why, I always thought that these were rear-wheel, but they're not. So how's it feel to actually drive the Rover Mini? Well, as I've stated multiple times already in this review, I love it. It is such a blast that I jumped at the opportunity to drive one again. They're so light and nimble, it really feels like a second skin, which also means that you feel every sort of bump, and sitting inside of here isn't the most comfortable thing in the world, but the sound, the dynamics. I know saying this handles like a go-kart is so overdone in automotive journalism, so I'm not going to say it handles like a go-kart. This car handles like it has a Neuralink into my mind, knowing exactly what I want to feel, the inputs I want to utilize. It knows me better than me, and when I give it the okay to run, it runs. So that's about the way. Let's talk about the interior, because this is actually where you'll really notice the Japanese domestic market Mini differs from the British one. Well, in front of me I have 3 gauges. Off to the left is my speedometer, in the center is my fuel and coolant temperature, and off to the right is my tachometer. The steering wheel is a nice wooden unit. It says Morris in the middle. This car doesn't know what the heck it is, at least in terms of name. Is it a Morris? Is it a Rover? Is it an Austin? Is it a Mini? Is it a Mini Cooper? Who flippin' knows? Who flippin' cares? Off to the right, I do have a climate control vent as well as my fog light switch. And moving out of the door, I have my latch to get in and out and my crank for the window. Moving into the center, I of course have a pop-out ashtray because Japan. I have 2 climate control vents, a radio, and then I have some interesting knobs. So choke is off to the left. This brake looking thing is actually to test the brake lights. That's it. Then I have defrost in the center, hazard to the right, and my headlights to the far right, as well as my heat to the far, far right. Looks like a little log on fire. Kind of funny there. Then I do have aftermarket air conditioning in here for car screen and on and off, but it doesn't work. Not that I would want it to on a beautiful morning like this. I don't get any center console, but I do have the shifter. It's nice and tall, and you have to lift it up and move it all the way to the right and back for reverse. Then I get a handbrake and no cup holders, so the Rover Mini from 1988 fails the big friggin' bottle test. The seats are actually pretty comfortable for what they are, but the seating position is not. My right knee is smashed up against the door. The steering wheel is cutting into my thighs. The pedal box is off to the left to incorporate room for the front wheel. My head isn't hitting the ceiling, so at least I'm not getting concussed, but that's all the positive things I could say about the seating position. The actual driving physically of this car sucks, but this car drives so well that I really don't care. Speaking of seats, however, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. So the whole seat actually tilts forward, which is nice. And then put your right foot in, and then you try to slide in, and then it doesn't really work. Oh my God. Ugh. I'm back here, barely. Let's take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space. That's the trunk of a Mini, right there. Got enough room for a spare tire, a little bit of luggage, and that's it. I will say, jokes aside about the back seat and all that stuff, Mini did a really good job with the packaging of this vehicle. For how small it is, I mean, I could almost do a U-turn in this little parking slot. For how small it is, it actually is decently spacious. Again, for what it is. Would I want to take this on a long road trip? Absolutely not. But for around town, do you really need much more? I beg to differ. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and the owner in Japan, whoever owned this before, Chris did, he did some modifications exterior-wise, different grille, things like that. These are also 12-inch wheels. My recent order from Lou Malnati's was bigger than that. There's just no denying how absolutely cute and adorable this little automobile is, and it drives like one too. So let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving yet another Austin Rover Mini from 1988? Well, I wouldn't have done this video if I didn't absolutely love it. I mean, it's just so cartoonish and fun and rev happy, and it's just this little golden retriever puppy that just goes, gimme, 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 gimme more, let's do it. You want to go on a fun adventure? Let's do it. You want to lift my suspension and put a tire on the roof and go rallying? Let's do it. You want to take me to the streets of Monte Carlo and win back to back to back to back? Let's do it. This car is just happy to be alive. It's happy to be doing what you ask it to do. It wants to please you in every way except physically, because I am not physically pleased at the moment, but I'm emotionally. Oh yeah, my spirit is soaring on eagle's wings. Oh my gosh, it's just, I can't imagine driving one of these back when they were conceptualized in the 50s and 60s. This must have felt like their own personal rocket ship back in the day. When we landed on the moon in 1969, there must have been someone out there that said, yeah, my Mini would take me there too. It's so good. And it doesn't need a turbo. It doesn't need fuel injection. Sure, it breathes through a strange apparatus like a Batman villain, but it's working. It's working great. And I can't get over it. And so I called this review a very selfish review because I didn't really need this video for my channel. I didn't really need the footage of another Mini from 1988, but my soul did. My heart did. My loins ached for another Mini. That sounds weird. You get what I mean. I wish these Wisconsin roads were a little bit better. My Lord. Holy crap. Big man in a little car, big man in a little car, driving by the lake, smelling all the smells, loving the little Mini, yeah. Yeah, oh my God. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know you guys didn't enjoy the video as much as I enjoyed driving this Rover Mini on these awful roads. God blessed Wisconsin. Huge thank you to Chris. I've been filming a bunch of his videos over the last 2 days here, of which you're seeing B-roll of now. They might already be out on the channel. They might not be. I don't know. So maybe that's a sneak peek, but Chris has been absolutely awesome, very knowledgeable about all these weird cars that he has let me film, and this is just yet another one. Huge thank you to him. This video wouldn't be possible, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.